Tell me about the drummers you admired when you were starting out.
I grew up on a 118-acre farm in the middle of nowhere in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So not a lot of people. There's no one in music in my family. My parents loved it. They always played the Beatles, Chuck Berry, Elvis, Zeppelin, whatever. But no one in my family played. So I just heard whatever's on the radio. And my uncle would make me cassette tapes of like Kiss and Ozzy and Sabbath and Deep Purple, Yes, Rush, all those bands.
Cool
so,
uncle.
Yeah, he had very cool taste. I really gravitated towards Kiss. People laugh at me, but like Peter Criss has a lot to do with why I play the drums today. And because when you're on such a desolate farm in the middle of nowhere like that, and you these freaks come out in makeup and they're on the covers of everything, and the music was, I just would play the Kiss albums almost daily, and then I really started getting into heavier stuff like the Sabbath ways, and I really gravitated towards the heavier rock and the more progressive stuff. I always knew when I was young, I'd be drumming along at 9 or 10 to like, Moving Pictures by Rush,
right.
And then I'd put on Back in Black. I'm like, wait a minute, why is it so much easier to play Back in Black? Because you don't understand odd time, you don't know theory, you have no conception of musical notations at that age. You're just feeling what you're feeling, And so I was self-taught for many years, and then when I went to high school, that's when I went to marching band, concert, symphonic. Started playing, waiting those 32 bars for the crash hit, and playing timpanis, and you learn discipline.
A lot of American rock drummers talk about marching band at school, and we don't really have it here. But from everyone I've spoken to from across the pond, it's this huge thing for your rudiments and for everything.
It's detrimental.
And it's competitive as well, right?
Yeah, big time. Yeah, some of those guys are out of their tree, man. They're amazing.
But it's not a good thing. It's detrimental.
I think it's. I'm sorry. I meant to say it's a detriment to your playing. Yeah. Sorry.
Takes away your swing or whatever.
Right. Well, that's the thing. You have to like watch, because some of those drummers get so stiff and so regimented.
Yeah.
But to me, when you get your rudiments together and your flams get super tight and your Swiss triplets, and it makes you get on the kit. Next thing you know, you're applying all these rudiments, and then your playing tightens up so much. I'm all about loose feel, but anyone can play sloppy. We can all play sloppy. But if you ask someone to play tight, that's a whole other thing. Enunciating all the notes and really getting them out. That's why I always tell people, like, quit these drummers sit in their labs and they'll practice blast beats till their arms fall off. That's fun, and you can impress your two friends or whatever, but it's like, really get in there and build your vocabulary in your head. Get your rudiments together and put it on 80 on a metronome and sit there and do flam taps for 5 minutes. And it sounds a little boring at first, but you're going to notice your playing just starts going up, and your groove, your timing, everything, that's the most important things. The speed and all that stuff comes later.
Talking of speed, did you get into the thrash metal guys, the Dave Lombardos and the rest of
them?
I
did. I wasn't a huge fan, but I really respected them. I played along with Anthrax records and Metallica and some Slayer stuff, and at a young age, because it would just freak me out. It was so aggressive and crazy. But I was more of towards the Yes, Rush, Frank Zappa, King Crimson kind of style. I loved all that stuff,
Black Page?
Yeah, we had to play that in MI. When I was a student at Musicians Institute.
Did you nail it?
I wouldn't say nail it. I got through it. Was sweating. But,
depends on the BPM, I guess.
The teachers were so insane at that time. Like I said, Ralph Humphrey and Joe Porcaro and Casey Sherrill, Richie Garcia. The staff was so amazing that, like, I felt like such a peon. I got off the farm. I thought I was like big shit walking around like, hey, and then I didn't realize how much I didn't know until I got to the school. I'm like, oh man, I know this small percentage of this giant world of music, that's out there. So you get humbled very quick, and still to this day, it's like, that's the great thing about playing and drumming, is you never stop learning.
Right.
And no matter till the day you die, it's not one of those jobs you're like, okay, I've reached my limit. This is where I'm going to be. That never ever happens. And if it does, you should probably do another job.
So looking back at, I don't know, even the last few years you've been with Korn, what's improved about your playing?
It's improved, like, as far as like playing big places, transpiring. We do a lot of festivals in this band, so like when you're playing 50 to 80,000 people sometimes at those Rock am Ring, and it's kind of crazy. You see the sound wave go through the audience. It's pretty powerful when you can hit a kick drum or snare drum, and it appeals to the masses like that, and you come together in that moment in time. It's a great feeling. So that definitely improved because it used to freak me out the first year with this band. You know, we're playing Argentina at Ozfest, and you could just see fires like a mile away, and you're like, these people are at our show right now. What are they doing way over there? So you know, but I love, to be honest, I love the smaller venues. I love 2,000 seaters when they're right in your face and everyone's connecting and you can't, you know, they hear everything. So I've improved, I think, just as far as this band Korn goes, because Korn is not like any other thing I've ever played in. It's not like any other band. They don't sound like anybody. They never have. So it took me a long time to really get inside this music and figure out who I was in this band, you know. So being a session drummer most of my life, being, you know, different, taking all these different avenues to kind of be a chameleon to adapt to another player immediately. You don't just adapt to someone like Korn. It's really deep and emotional stuff, you know. It's not about your technique, it's not about anything, but all the experience I've had in my past has definitely added and contributed to what it is now.